Mr. Cop hates George and Harold. He hates their prank and their wise quacks. He hates their silly attitude and their constant giggling. And he especially hates those awful Captain Underpants comic books. I'm going to get those boys one day, Mr. Cop wrote. One day, very, very soon. Chapter 5. One day, very, very soon. Remember when I told you I said that George and how Silly Street got them into big trouble? Big trouble once? Well, this is the story of how that happened and how some huge pranks turned their principal into the coolest superhero of ever. It was the day of the big football game between the horrid knuckleheads and the symbol stink bugs. The blankets were filled with fans. The cheerleaders ran into the field and shook their pom-poms over their heads. A fine black dust drift out of their pom-poms and scattered around them. "Give me a K," shouted the cheerleaders. "K," repeated the fans. "Give me an N," shouted the cheerleaders. "N," repeated the fans. "Give me a achoo," sneezed the cheerleaders. "Achoo," repeated the fans. "Achoo, achoo, achoo." The cheerleaders sneezed and sneezed and sneezed some more. They couldn't stop sneezing. "Hey," shouted the fan in the bleachers. "Somebody sprinkled black pepper into the cheerleaders' pom-poms. I wonder who did that," asked another fan. The cheerleaders stumbled off the field, sneezing and dripping with musical as the marching band members took their places. But when the band began to play, steady streams of bubbles began blowing out of their instruments. Bubbles were everywhere, up and down the field. The marching band slipped and slid, leaving behind a thick trail of wet, bubbly foam. "Hey," shouted a fan in the bleachers. "Somebody poured bubble bath in the marching band's instruments. I wonder who did that," asked another fan. Soon the football teams took the field. The knuckleheads kicked the ball up went the ball. Higher and higher it went. The ball sailed into the clouds and kept right on going until nobody could see it anymore. "Hey," shouted the fan in the blink. "Somebody filled the game with handsomeness. I wonder who did that," asked another fan. But missing ball didn't make any difference because at the moment the knuckleheads were rolling around the field, scratching and itching like crazy. "Hey," shouted the coach. "Somebody will play the healing musical rub. Location with prankster extra scratchy, itchy cream. We wonder who did that," asked the fan in the bleachers. The whole afternoon went on much the same way, with people shouting everything from "Hey, somebody put sea monkeys in the lemon," to Hey, somebody glued all the bathroom doors shut. Before long, most of the fans in the benches had gotten up and left. The big cave had been 4 feet, and everyone in the entire school was visible. Everyone, that except for 2 giggling boys crouching in the shadow went the benches. Those were our best pranks yet, laughed Howard. Yep, chuckled George. They'll be hard to top that for sure. I just hope we don't get busted for this, said Howard. Don't worry, said George. We covered our track really well. There's no way we will get busted. Chapter 6, Busted. The next day at school, an announcement came over the loudspeakers. George Burden and Hunters, please report to Principal's office at once. Uh-oh, said Howard. I don't like the sound of that. Don't worry, said George. They can't prove anything. George and Howard entire Principal office and sat down on the chair in front of his desk. The toy boy had been in the office together counting time before, but this time was different. Mr. Cup was fun, as long as George and Howard had known. Mr. Cup, they had never ever seen him smile. Mr. Cup knew something. I didn't see you boys at the big game yesterday, said Mr. Cup. No, said Howard. We weren't feeling well. Yeah, said Howard, stammered nervously. We went home. Oh, that's too bad, said Principal Cup. You boy missed a good game. George and Howard quickly glanced at each other, and tried not to look guilty. Lucky for you, I had a videotape of the whole thing, Mr. Cup said. He turned on the television in the corner and pressed the play button on the VCR. A black and white image appeared on the TV screen. It was an overhead shot of Georgia Hands sprinkling pepper into the cheerleaders' pom-poms. Next came a suit of Georgia and Howard pouring liquid bubble bath into the marching band instrument. How do you like the pre-game show? Asked Mr. Cup with the devilish grin. George eyed the television screen in the tower. He couldn't answer. Howard's eyes were glued to the floor. He couldn't look. The track went on and on, revealing all of George and Howard behind the scenes and tagged. By now, both boys were eyeing the floor, squirting nervously and dripping with sweat. Mr. Cup turned off the TV. You know, he said, ever since you came to this school, it's been one prank after another. First, you put the sense frogs in a jello salad at the parent-teacher banquet. Then you made it snow in the cafeteria. Then you wiggled and in time so played with a Yoko song for blast for 6 hours straight for 4 long years. You two have been running amok in the school, and I never able to prove anything until I know. Mr. Cup been running in the school, and I never know to prove anything until now. Mr. Cup held the videotape in his hand and took the liberty to install tiny video service camera around the school. I knew I'd catch you two in the school. I knew I'd catch you two in the after one day. I just didn't know it would be so easy. Chapter 7. A little black male. Mr. Cup sat back in his chair and chuckled to himself for a long, long time. Finally, Georgia had got to courage to speak. What are you going to do with that tape? Track, he said. I thought you'd never ask, laughed Mr. Cup.